I figured it is about time for a real introduction. Who I am and what I am about. I am about 5'3". I weigh roughly 126 pounds, but I am always trying to improve. Not change. Just improve. I truly respect what I was given by the all-knowing divine. That which is within and without. Although I grew up in a medium-sized Texas town on planet Earth, I now hang my hoodie in a small town called Pagosa Springs, Colorado. It is about 4 hours from Denver. At the moment I work as a dishwasher for a local restaurant and pub. I really enjoy it and think the people I work with are terrific. Of course I spend most of my time working in my spaceship high above everyone. Being autistic, I need lots of me time. I am and always have been a loner. Never fit in. Never really cared to. I like to meet and chat with good people. But good people are sometimes hard to find. My Asp mind just cannot always relate to the general public. Our brains are wired differently. Our 5 senses are enhanced as well. Things will often be too loud. Light too bright. Our skin too sensitive. And we usually tend to think very logically. Not always understanding social cues and norms. Unfortunately, most human beings seem to operate more on an emotional level, as opposed to logical reasoning. ASPIE, spelled A-S-P-I-E, is a term that many of us use. It just means a person that has Asperger's syndrome. We tend to be less humorous and more intellectual for the most part. We often do not understand feelings or identify with them like everyone else. Though I personally am unusually empathic, the majority of us are quite the opposite. There is nothing wrong with being on the autistic spectrum. People are just different. As I have talked about before, we all have our gifts as well. We can be very creative when it comes to art, for instance. We have made tremendous strides in science, engineering, and technology. Yet in some ways we can feel very alienated from the rest of humanity. That is why I wear the mask. If it is indeed a mask. We all wear masks now and then. Some more than others. And in case you were wondering, I do have a brother who is 7 years older. Though I love animals, I do not have any pets at this time. So that describes a part of who I am. But there is much more to me than that. I am a huge movie buff. A comedian by nature. Always the mad scientist. Or at least slightly cheesed off. I am also a comic book fanatic and longtime gamer. Though I am not very good at many video games, it is one of my greatest passions. Breakout or Arkanoid style games are among my favorite. So are brawlers like Streets of Rage. Or hack and slash games. Third-person shooters and the occasional RPG as well. A few racing games. 3D platformers. Clearly this list could go on, and I will likely be doing some game reviews soon anyway. Moving right along. Reading is another passion. And so is cooking. I also exercise and work out daily. I enjoy good comedy as long as it does not involve bathroom, college, or sexual humor. Which leaves out 99% of mainstream TV and the majority of what plays on cable. Yet I still watch the news. Go figure. I love science. Particularly genetics, microbiology, quantum physics, and especially all things paranormal. Also astronomy. Philosophy, poetry, psychology, and spirituality have long fascinated me. I have a need to understand the way things work. The way people work. And think. I get very frustrated with people and can at times have a temper, but keep it under control. I suppose it is an interesting challenge to deal with such a diverse and illogical species on a daily basis. But there are many I have befriended and that I truly care about. And love. Every so often we will come across someone that really understands and accepts you completely for who you are. The Special Olympics was like that for me. I began volunteering in 2007, then joined as an athlete in 2008. I did so because I want to help people. Inspire people. Teaching what I know and learning what I can from them. That is a lot of who I am as a soul. And yes, I believe wholeheartedly in the soul. It is absolutely real and it is who we are. Bonding with other souls. Other fragments of ourselves along the way. Learning about ourselves. Finding our passions. Trying to understand where we are headed in the future. Most people seem to believe that success means a highly prestigious job, lots of money, and being married with children. I think these people are either deluded to an extent or not thinking with their hearts. Success has nothing to do with any of that. It is all about doing what truly makes you happy. What feels right to you as an individual. That is just the way I see and feel things. Now, as far as dating is concerned, it can be concerning because I have never really dated. Sometimes I joke that I do not much care for dates. But I do love raisins. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Also, I will add to that. Ha. But seriously. Despite being a straight guy, I have yet to find any woman that I have really wanted to date. They just cannot be polite or respectful. In my 41 years of life, I have only received a few compliments about my natural looks. The rest have been insults and criticisms from almost every woman. It is extremely frustrating, but it tells me that it is probably not worth it to bother. I would have to be completely in control of the relationship anyway to be truly happy. Few women seem to be interested in that anymore. So be it. Most people spend their lives jumping from one relationship to the next. They rarely take time to get to know themselves or where they are going in life because they are terrified of being on their own. The world has made it painfully clear that it hates single people. It is often treated like some kind of disease. It is, however, to the contrary. Those of us who take the time to get to know ourselves and prefer to explore and understand the world around us. Those of us who very much want someone but are always denied. We are often the ones that truly find success in the end. We fear not the silence, but embrace it. We feel the coldness and the darkness. And make peace with them. Remember, friends. Where there is fear, there is no love. But where there is love, there is no fear. Now you know me better. I am no longer a stranger. Though perhaps I am stranger than most. Of course, feel free to ask questions in the comments.